paper is.
10.
10, is that agreeable? 10?
I put 9, so 10's.
10.
And that would be,
10's okay?
say, the top 3.
If that's how it works out.
That how it works out.
And then the cost, Councilman Fleming, you'd like to reduce that to 5, or would we have to,
I had a range, and I said, I was trying to play with the numbers we already had using 19, but I said 5 to 9. So if we say 9 would be the top for me, 5 would be giving some credibility.
Councilman Teets?
I agree with, it troubles me, but I agree with Jim Campbell.
Uh-oh.
I know it's rough on him more than it is on me. But I think the ability to meet objectives,
It's high.
I think that's probably, if they can't do it, I think we should increase that by 4, and that would get it down, cost to complete the project at 10 total.
Yeah.
Then let me go through the numbers as I have them on my paper.
All right.
Ability to meet objectives, 23.
Okay.
Experience and qualifications, 19. And striking, third point, knowledge of municipal government. Personnel assigned, 19. Sample documents, 19. And interview, that's 10. With the understanding that we'll look at however many would qualify.
Right.
And then cost to complete project would be 10 as well.
So, okay, that works, 19.
Is that total 100? That's all it is.
It's off. Yeah, it's 100.
Yeah, that's
100,
nice.
okay.
Pretty proud.
Are you
I did
in
that.
No,
myself.
okay, yes.
Do the budgets next year.
I don't know about that.
Councilman Fleming?
If anybody else has anything to say, I'll wait till last, but if not, there was one thing on the other form that I really liked, and it was recent searches in Michigan in the last 4 years. So looking at experience and qualifications, what I would like to see is conducting, that first bullet point, conducting private as well as public sector executive searches, and recent success in placing these people in Michigan. Recent success. They're not 10 years ago, but does anybody else feel that that's important, that they've had some recent success placing people?
I'd say so. To attract someone to Michigan.
To Michigan, you know,
I
because
think-
Michigan's a little different animal for some.
We've gotten a bad rap nationally, and so.
To me, that's important.
Could you phrase that
I get a
again?
whole lot of interest out of state anyways.
Never know.
Conducting private as well as public sector executive searches. That's
Going.
and recent success in Michigan placements. You can reword that whatever you want, but that's what I'm looking for. In other words, when they bring their thing to show us a listing of positions they've been able to fill and attract people to Michigan. Maybe they've already had the people in Michigan and placed them in jobs in Michigan, but bringing someone out of state to Michigan may be a real asset.
Tim McGinnis?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So just to clarify then, it's not just recent success in Michigan placements, or is it? That's what I would prefer, but
Yes.
then I heard you say bringing people from out of state to Michigan. So is that the criteria, or is it just that they've recently placed someone in Michigan? It could be somewhere else in Michigan.
No.
And I'm also thinking that could give other people an unfair advantage, because I'm assuming Michigan Municipal Leagues probably place a lot of people in Michigan. Or perhaps the firm that's in Troy, they're obviously probably going to have an advantage. So I like that that's something to consider, but I wouldn't be comfortable limiting it, people coming from out of state to Michigan. And I feel like if we didn't do that, then it might unfairly advantage.
Both ways, I understand.
So I think it's something that we should really look at when we're looking at their proposals. I think the overall success rate's important in general, but that one might be a little tricky to add that in there and make it something we are required to grade or to weight on.
Is that why it was taken out? I just wondering, because I liked it before recent search and
I
within
did
4
take
years,
it
I like
out.
that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, we do ask in their submittal that they do provide us with 3 recent references from organizations where you performed an executive search and placement similar in the scope to the current request. So that's
I
what
like
we're
that
asked for.
language personally.
That's an RFP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've asked for.
Could I ask a question about this 19? We have 3 bullet points to get to that 19. Is that, do you give like 6, and 6?
Now, what you're going to do when you're scoring these is you're going to score probably from 1 to 10 in your scoring. And then the weight value is 23, 19,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
You're actually going to score from 1 to
So
10.
you've already got that built in the RFP to cover.
Yeah, you really can't evaluate on things you haven't asked for. I mean,
Right.
that's going to be difficult to do. So you kind of want
Make
to,
sure you got it covered.
yeah. But I think what you're asking for is covered
In
in,
the RFP.
right.
Does anyone else have a thought on that, this Michigan thing? It's in the RFP, but we're not evaluating on that.
I think we
because-
should add it, but with just the simple language of recent success and Michigan placement. Let's not get
Okay.
into coming or going.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
could place someone from Gaylord to Sterling Heights or whatever, vice versa, I think
That does give most, there's 7, and there's 4 of them that are from the MML, Frank, the 2 from Troy, so there's 4 of the 7 are from Michigan, so that they're certainly going to have an advantage.
Is that fair then?
But how much advantage is that going to give them in the rating system?
It's going to be an individual
That's going to be an
thing.
individual thing,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
right. Yep, you're going to rate
Personally,
that.
for me, yeah. I don't think I would give that a ton of weight.
And you can do that on your,
And I could do
Yeah.
that-
And that's
Yeah.
could
gonna
do
be
that on my own,
reflected, right?
No.
And I would probably give that a little more weight, so we'll just balance each other.
I
out.
agree.
Right.
I'm looking for the best candidate. I don't care where he comes, where he or she
For the
comes
best
from.
search firm to find the
But
best.
that's right.
Okay, are there any other suggestions? Requests for changes?
Functionally, this form works this way. A would be,
Let's say
of the 3
Frank,
firms,
B would be MML, C would be
and
Hardy
then
Hall
just
House.
down the line, we just put
Right.
notes, and then the
just
score,
put a
1
score.
through 23.
Well, 1 through 10,
10.
1 through 10. And that's, the 23 is the weight. So if you,
You
Got
won't
it.
have the 20.
right,
So
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 if you
going
got-
across,
10
Yeah.
times 23?
yes. So that in the end, if you scored somebody 10 in each one of the categories, they should get a total of 100 at the bottom.
10 being the highest?
10.
walk me through that one more time.
Okay, so for each one of these categories, 1, 2, 3, 4 categories, right? That you have to evaluate your proposal on. If you find that your proposal meets the ability to meet all of your objectives, you think that's great, you're going to score them a 10, okay? And then the next category, they're highly qualified, you're going to give them a 10. They have curriculum assigned, you give them a 10. Their document was great, you're going to give them a 10. You add all these up, it's going to be 23, 19, 19, and 19, because those are the weights. That's the value of your 10. So you gave them 10 points, it's actually weighted higher than, so this 10 points at the very top is going to get 23 points out of the 100. The 10 in the next category is going to get 19 points, because that's how you've rated it, you've decided.
Okay, so,
Okay.
okay,
Does that kind of make
Yeah.
sense?
makes more sense now, yep.
Okay.
Just to clarify, you said 4 categories, we actually got.
But you've got
6,
more,
but-
yeah.
6, but.
Right.
We have to wait, we do have to wait the interview if we use it.
Yes, correct.
And
Same
the
way.
cost if we use it.
Same way, yes.
That concludes.
We are.
And Mayor, just to clarify, now that there appears to be consensus, we will bring this back at the next meeting.
Yes.
It will appear as a consent agenda item. with the revisions that are included, and then I believe that you will have, hopefully, proposals that will be given to you after this evaluation form is approved, and you can take those and do the evaluations independently and get them to Mrs. Learson, who will tally all of those scores together. Thank you.
Are those the dates that are in your last email, are those all firm dates now? We should schedule.
Well, that's up to council to do the scheduling. That certainly is up to council as
Gave
far
us some
as.
dates that,
Right, we gave you some of the council meetings, and if you wanted to do interviews, again, it will take, we estimate it'll take a couple of weeks to do the tallying, for you to do your scoring of all of the search firms. Then if you wanted to have an interview, you won't know who the top ranked candidates are, the search firms are, until at least a couple weeks afterwards. So that's up to council. If you wanted to have interviews scheduled, if you want to wait and see who the top firms are, how many there are, you can approach it that way as well.
I think we should wait and see how we're going along as we go along, yeah. So there are no closed sessions. Oh, you have another comment?
One more question about the interviews. Would we have an interview? I think Mark had mentioned we could do a conference call or something of that nature, or would we just each individually call and have a phone interview with the?
No.
No, it's usually done, I mean, the last time we conducted it in this room. It was a telephone interview. All of the participants were put on notice and what time their interview was going to take place roughly, so that the person was available to talk to them and things like that. Out of state firms and things like that, it's hard to bring them here on site. So that's what we did. And we can certainly make arrangements to do that again. Well, yeah, we could have, obviously your local folks could show up. I mean, that's a possibility too. So, anyway.
And that concludes the study session. We have no closed session, so the meeting is adjourned.